Whenever you are, Jennifer.
I'm ready when you guys are, so we can go ahead and call this March 22nd meeting of the Independent School Board District number 882 to order at 6 o'clock. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And I'll let you in the boardroom start us off.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Can I have an approval of the agenda?
So moved. This is Melissa.
Second, this is Candy.
Motion made by Melissa, seconded by Candy. We'll do all those in favor by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Candy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
And Kathy?
Aye.
And Jennifer, aye. Motion passes 6-0. And I am not aware of any citizens' comments for the night. So we can go ahead to the consent agenda. Board members, you would have received your packets and all that information. If you have anything that we need to discuss or questions, now is the time. Otherwise, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. This is Melissa.
Candy, second.
Motion made by Melissa Curtis, seconded by Candy Carta. All those by roll call. Candy?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jennifer, aye. Motion passes 6-0. On to spring sports update with Gary Revenig.
The Walk of Fame.
Did you do that? Make that big boom?
No, that was me.
That was you.
All right, hi, I'm Gary Revenig, Activities Director. Is
A
this
little
where
bit,
you want me?
go a little bit closer yet.
Okay. Hi, Gary Revenig, Activities Director at the high school. I'm here to give a quick winter update on our winter activities and then a real quick spring one as well. So I'm gonna just go through all the activities we had at the high school this winter. It's been a busy place. Our dance team, we finished second in the Mississippi 8 Conference. We finished fifth in sections on jazz and seventh in high kick out of 13 teams for dance this winter. Girls hockey is in the Lake Conference. We co-op with St. Michael Albertville High School. We finished fourth out of 7 schools in the Lake Conference, and we lost our first round section game to Elk River on or just this last week. Girls basketball, we finished sixth in the Mississippi 8 Conference out of the 8 teams, and we lost to Wilmer in section play last week. Boys basketball, we also finished sixth in the conference out of the 8 teams, and we defeated St. Francis in the opening round of section play on Friday night, 61-60. It was an exciting game, and we're in the semifinals on Tuesday, tomorrow, at Rocori High School at 7 o'clock. Wrestling, we also finished in 6th place in the conference, but we had 11 wrestlers that went on to sections and competed individually. 3 advanced to the state tournament. We're really excited about that. We had Quinn McCullough at 113 pounds, Nelson Anderson at 132, and Alex Faring at 160. And Nelson has advanced to the state finals. He'll be an all-state wrestler, so we're very excited for him. And he will compete Friday at St. Michael Albertville High School. Gymnastics, we finished 3rd in the conference. We were 2nd in our section. They competed last Saturday, just a couple days ago here in Big Lake. And we have freshman Presley Cass, who has qualified for state. She's going to be competing in the state tournament on Friday at Champlain Park High School on the bars and on the floor. Boys swimming and diving, we were the Mississippi 8 Conference champions, and we finished 2nd overall in sections. The following made it to state. Freshman MJ Arns finished 5th overall. She's an all-state diver from Monticello High School. We had senior Isaac Van Horick, Tanner Branson, Jacob Beard, Hunter South, Juniors Clay McGow, sophomore Zach Cook, and freshman Paul Fazen all advanced to state. And then we had a relay, 400 free relay. They are all state. They finished 8th overall. Paul Fazen, Tanner Branson, Jacob Beard, and Isaac Van Horing. So 5 all-state students in the swimming and diving program. Boys hockey, we were the Mississippi 8 Conference champions, and we're the top seed in the section. So far, we've won both our section games. We'll play in the section final at Monticello at Bouchard Arena on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. You can have 200 spectators like we've had the first 2 games. For section hockey, we play Northern Lakes. That's a team made up of Pequot Lakes, Crosby Ironton High School, and Aiken High School. Some of our fine arts this winter. DECA had 5 students advance to a virtual state competition. And those students were, our advisor is Kari Graberg. Those students were Colton Botet, second place, quick serve restaurant management, Summer Langba, second place in retail merchandising. Jalen Dyer, third place in marketing communications. Elena Brodden qualified in retail merchandising. And Grace Esselman qualified in human resource management. At state, Jalen made it to the final round, and Summer Langba was awarded the Outstanding Student Award. So that's pretty cool. Knowledge Bowl, our advisor is Jeannie Chu. We had virtual competitions this year through Resource Training and Solutions. We did 6 meets, and we advanced to the regional competition for the first time in quite a few years. So Knowledge Bowl team did really well. Same with our math team. They advanced farther than Mr. Stoik said we have in a long time. We had 15 students in math, finished second in the Mississippi division. It's not the same as our conference. We're with larger schools like Mounds View, Elk River. I'm not sure all the schools that are in there, but we finished second overall in that division, advanced to sections, and took 4th. So he was really pleased with how we did. Our top 2 scorers this year were Elena Cummings and Brandon Gores. All events were held virtually this year for math team as well. Spring sports, just had a meeting today at 4 o'clock with our coaches. All of our sports except for boys and girls lacrosse will start next week on Monday, on April 5th, and the following Monday, boys and girls lacrosse will start. Trap team had their meeting already last week, and they will get started this week with a lot of their safety things and getting everything in place for their season. Musical, April 9th, 10th, and 11th. This year we're performing Newsies. And our own Mr. Carr has a little role in that. He's excited about that. He was at practice today. So musical is getting close here. Prom, we're set for April 17th. Still going through guidelines and more information is coming. I have to take part in a webinar on Wednesday. So busy time and activities, keep it up, but an exciting time right now. Any questions when it comes to high school activities from this winter or this spring?
I just would like to say thank you for being an amazing advocate for students and their activities and their sports. Without you, they would not have been able to do some of the things that they were able to compete in and as quick as they could. And parents getting to some of the events back in the fall, I know it was your voice in the state that was heard by the Minnesota State High School League. And families have reached out to me often to thank you for your service. So thank you.
I appreciate you saying that, but I played a very small part. There are a lot of people that are advocating for kids, so I thank you for saying that. Appreciate it. Yeah, any other questions?
For the hockey playoff, the 200 spectators, it's Jamie here.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay.
Ventriloquist. I was moving my lips, she was talking.
The 200 spectators, is there certain amounts like per family that can go, or are they just counting as they show up, or how many students are allowed?
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that because Janice, who I work with in the activities office, Janice Holthaus, is absolutely amazing. And I knew that trying to keep track of all of that for every sport this winter was very time consuming for her. Well, she was gone. She had vacation on Friday. And I had told the hockey parents, well, just email me if you have any changes. I thought it would be pretty simple. It took almost my entire day keeping up with all the changes. So we actually have one of the captain's moms who has volunteered to do it for Thursday to free us up because it's a very busy place right now with spring sports starting and winter sports ending. So one of the moms is helping right now. But out of the 200 tickets, how it works for hockey, the visiting team gets 80 and we get 120. So we are working with the families in our hockey program. The players on the section roster, there's 20, they get 4 tickets. And the JV players, they get 2. And then the coaches each get 4 tickets as well. The managers, I believe, get 4 if they're at the game, or 2 if they're JV managers. So that gets us to our 120 pretty quick. So there's a lot of trading and negotiating and helping each other out to get everybody in. And we managed to probably get over 20 students at the game on Saturday. It was really fun in there. Typically in a section semifinal, we're gonna have about 500 people. We were able to get 200 in there, but it sounded like 500 people. It was really a fun game to be at, and we were fortunate to win in double overtime. So Thursday will be a tough game. We beat Northern Lakes 4-3 last week at their place. It'll be 2 weeks ago, so it'll be a tough game.
Awesome, thank you.
Mr. Revenig, are those broadcast like on YouTube Live or something for people that can't?
We use Sporfy, and it's free. We wanted to provide that free for our fans. And there's a link that we send out. It's on our website. And Jared Hines, who promotes our students and through our activities, and he runs our website, does an amazing job keeping people updated on that. But yeah, even if you just Google Sporfy and then click on Monticello Moose, it's the name of our hockey team, you'd be able to find that link, and anyone can watch it. So,
Okay, so no live barn for the high school.
no, we had to turn that off because the sections did not approve of that one.
Okay.
If we were gonna have that on, we would have had to pay $900, and it's just, we're fortunate we have a free option for our fans.
Awesome, thank you.
Anything else? Well, thanks for letting me show up at exciting times. Right now, for our individual sports for spring, the Department of Health guidelines are still that they need to have a mask on, especially if they're inside practicing. They need a mask on when they're entering into the venue, wherever they're going. They're supposed to have a mask on. Individual athletes, when they're competing, which would be track, golf, tennis, once they start competing, they will be able to take their mask off, put it someplace safe. When they're not competing, the mask goes back on. Our team sports are still required to wear a mask at this time. We're thinking on April 1st, those guidelines might loosen a little bit if our COVID numbers around the state of Minnesota can stay down. So guidance changes almost, I'd say weekly, but it seems like daily. So we're constantly, it's a moving target, trying to figure out what we need to do to keep all of our kids safe and to keep them still competing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary, for all that information. Now to Mr. Olson with our student recognition, Megan Phillips Service Project.
Yeah, so I'm going to have Megan Phillips come up here and stand behind our M with her family. Her mom, Pam, is here as well. But how often do you get a student to come to you and reach out to you with an email and say that they have an idea that they would love to present to you? Well, it doesn't happen every day, right? And so when you do get a chance as superintendent to answer an email and realize that this young lady had an awesome project to bring forth to me personally, but then for me to help her get it to a bigger venue. And that's exactly what we did. One of our 4 strategic priorities in our district is innovation and leadership. And Megan Phillips, you are a leader, and we couldn't be more proud of you. So we have a little video here that describes the project that we're going to play for everyone, and we can learn more about Megan Phillips' innovation and leadership.
My name is Megan Phillips. I am in 8th grade and I am a Monticello Middle School student. This is supposed to be a recycling bin for all 5 schools in Monticello. Well, mostly during lunchtime because some people would just drop their stuff on the floor. Well, I got the idea for the M on a brown piece of paper and then just a list of recyclable things on top just so they know what to recycle and what not to recycle. I just like candy wrappers, water bottles that can be recycled. I say the most fun part of building the recycling bin and painting it because I like painting and I like art in general. My mom and my dad, my mom was taking pictures most of the time and my dad would help me build and hold everything still so it wouldn't just crumble together. It was fun to start building anyways and just wanted to keep going for the education of recycling. There's bronze that you do for 20 hours. I did candy buckets to the military overseas. The silver award is 50 hours, and this is what I'm doing. And then the gold award is 80 hours. I already have an idea to build a playground for disabled people. Just keep going, because who knows where it could lead to.
Love that. Any advice, just keep going because you don't know what it can lead to. And here Megan Phillips is at a school board meeting from a simple email of asking if she could make our middle school better and help our students recycle more. And she didn't just come with a brainstorming, she came with an idea, presented it to me, presented to our head custodian, Dave Philip. They worked together to make it happen with her family. So if we could, we're gonna get some pictures, but let's give Megan Phillips a big round of applause. Certificate. Not too many students present at board, so this is pretty amazing. So if we want to get a little bit closer, I think we're okay for a quick picture. Thank you so much. We're so proud of you. Thanks.
It's always wonderful when we get to see students in here and celebrate their accomplishments. Now on to our District Service Award.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gary Kraft. I am the head custodian at Pinewood Elementary School.
I'm Bruce Hanson, head custodian, Monticello High School.
We have a surprise for one of our contractors who has been dedicated to this district for over 40 years. He has been amazing day and night. It doesn't matter if the district has a problem, Dan will be here. And he let it slip a little while ago that how long he's been here in the district. So we thought no one is more deserving than the guy that just walked in. We have another head custodian. I'll let him introduce himself.
I'm Dan Phillips, head custodian, Monticello Middle School.
And the reason why we're here tonight is for Monticello, I have been here 35 years. And in my 35 years, I have never met anyone as dedicated, as loyal, as driven, as purpose for one goal, and that is to take care of the Monticello schools. We definitely need this man to keep the lights on. He has been our electrician for over 40 years. And we approve everything he does with such professionalism. He is just a mentor to all of us, and we cannot thank him enough. So, without further ado, I would like to ask the other head custodians if they would like to say something. They can step up and say a few words about Dan.
Well, I've been around the district a long time, and Dan has always been here. And one of the things that just appreciate about Dan so much is he's always looking out for the best interests of the district. It isn't just that Dan can come in and do a project. He'll always look for ways that the custodians can work with him to lower the price or to do things. And he's saved our district so much money over the years, just doing things like that. But then just like Gary mentioned, the dedication that he has. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas Day or whatever, Saturday, Sunday, he's here doing the work, and always, you never have to question Dan. And another thing I want to say about Dan is every once in a while we'll start up the grills at the high school for either a staff lunch or a lunch, and we all say that he can smell a grill from all the way across town, because it seems like whenever we start one, all of a sudden he shows up to check off some stuff on his list. So it'd be like he rarely misses a meal. So, and he's always very welcome, because he is just with teachers, admin, custodians, everybody. Everybody knows him and appreciates him. So.
I can't say any more than's already been said, and I'm going to pay for lying to him to get him here, so I'm going to step back.
And I've been here 15 years, and it took me about 9 years before I realized that he wasn't a district employee because he's here so much, and like I've already heard, he's here on holidays, and I do like to do some of that grilling, so I have been able to feel like I was paying him back a little bit, but this tonight is a lot more than just sitting around a picnic table with a brat or a burger. Tonight is just to thank a person who's been working in our district for over 40 years and giving us his very best, just like we all hope for our students and all of our community members. So, Dan, you are an amazing worker, amazing addition to our family. Thanks, Double D, Double D Electric.
I'm kind of speechless here, but I very much appreciate it. I didn't expect this for certain. I love working for the district. I live in the community, and I like to, I guess, just share my work experience and help people out as much as I can. I live here, I pay taxes here, and I guess not much for a speaker, but I very do much appreciate this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
This summer, we're going to have you do some electrical work in here.
Yeah. Smile.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Nice job. Way to pull it off. You guys.
Thank you. Bruce, you bet. Thanks. Gary. You? I'll do
Davey. Dan, just so you know, there's more than just him, but go ahead and take it out on him.
We're so fortunate to have such great people in the district. Moving on to our collaborative connections section, and we've got our resolution for acceptance of gifts with Mr. Olson.
All right. Well, we have five donors that came forward since the last school board meeting. Monticello American Legion, Post 260, donated a series of books that are going to be added to the Monticello Middle School Library. We have H2 Outfitters, who donated $500 to the Monticello fishing team. Studer Chiropractic, $500 to the Monticello fishing team. All Elements Roofing, $1,000 to the Monticello fishing team. And Cargill of Monticello, $7,880 to the backpack program, which is our program to get food into the hands of our students. Our teachers know it well as they help our students get this food into their lockers and backpacks, and then it goes home on the weekends. So this is a great program that's been going on for several years, and we couldn't do it without Cargill. They're always a main, huge supporter of this program.
Do we have someone ready to read the resolution?
Therefore, it be resolved by the Monticello School Board number 882 to gratefully accept the following donations. Monticello American Legion Post, 3 volumes War Stories. H2 Outfitters, $500 to the Monticello Fishing Team. Studer Chiropractic, $500 to Monticello Fishing Team. All Elements Roofing, $1,000 to Monticello Fishing Team. And Cargill Monticello, $7,880 for the backpack program.
Candy, second.
Resolution read by Jeff Hagley, seconded by Candy Carta. All those in favor by roll call. Jeff?
Aye.
Candy?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Jennifer? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. It is always so nice to see how generous our community is. Now we go to the long-term facility maintenance resolution for Wright Tech Center.
Yeah, so another collaborative partner of ours is our Wright Technical Center. Wright Technical Center is a cooperative that allows us to participate with 7 other school districts in the Wright technical courses that they have over there. So a lot of our career technical education courses are over there. Our health careers courses are over there. Early childhood courses and cosmetology, and then the construction courses, along with horticulture. Wonderful program over there. Being a member of that collaborative does come with not only our annualized pay to be part of that, according to student use, but just like we have in our school districts, long-term facility maintenance projects and funding, we also hold a share of that long-term facility maintenance project list over there. So in the years past, our amount for that has changed, but it's always right around the $80,000 mark, 60 to 80,000, I should say. So last year we were at 67,000, and this coming year we're going up to 74,000. Thank you. My glasses it's really small. If you saw this, you'd know. But I'll just give you an example of some of the projects that are coming up for this summer work. But machine guarding, IAQ, IEA management fees, alarm sprinkler, extinguisher testing, some garage doors, some electrical work. Hope they're using double D. Flooring and painting, RTU plate replacement, prevention maintenance, some plumbing repairs, roofing phase 1, a lot of the same things that we do, and then some concrete replacement and repairs. So those are a few of the projects that will be going on this summer, and our portion of those projects would be $74,000. So we do have a resolution or some questions if anybody has any questions. Obviously, we always have Tina here, who's very versed in this, what happens with this long-term facility maintenance of Wright Tech.
So for this, it's including quite a few other school districts too that split up this cost, correct? So Montrose or pretty much all the surrounding districts. And it's all separate by our student involvement or by our district size and how much we have to pay?
I believe it's both.
Okay. So our utilization and how big our district is, so 2 different factors. Okay. Thanks, Tina.
Okay, do we budget for this? Sure.
So with their 10-year plan, since they don't have land to levy on, this is a levy type funding that the state allows us to use. So it's on our levy coming through and it flows out to them. So it's in and out.
Okay. So when we have a certain percentage of our levy that goes towards these renovations at Wright Tech, do we just have a general number and then they tell us what they need, or are they giving us a number ahead of time when we're levying, or how is this working?
I believe they probably work with the board and their superintendents on what they need for the 10-year plan. So for, I think it's been 3 or 4 years now that they've been able to utilize this. So for the last 3 years, it's been about 23,000. So not a huge number, but I mean, they probably need some large stuff done, but we're all the school districts are kind of in the same boat of what we can handle with our levy impact, because, you know, we're trying to do other things with our levy as well.
They had a much greater list. So this is a list that's pared down to get them, hopefully, you know, the adequate support that they need, you know, and I don't know if Melissa wants to speak to that anymore, but.
That's pretty much exactly it. They're struggling to, with like low student ratios and things, and big projects, the roofs, and that need to be taken care of. It'll be more expensive in the future.
Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dina.
Does someone have the resolution to read?
I do. Resolution, Wright County Technical Center's long-term facility maintenance program budget, and authorizing the inclusion of a proportionate share of those projects in the district's application for long-term facility maintenance revenue. Be resolved by the school district District number 82, state of Minnesota, as follows. The school board of Cooperative School District 966 has approved the long-term facility maintenance program budget for its facilities for the 2022-2023 school year in the amount of $167,000, of which District number 882 proportionate share is $25,523.17. The various components of this program budget are attached as Exhibit A here too, and are incorporated herein by reference. Said budget is hereby approved. Exhibit A, Minnesota Statute Section 123B.53 Subdivision 1, as amended, provides that if a cooperative school district's long-term facility maintenance budget is approved by the school boards of each of the cooperative school districts, member school districts, each member district may include its proportionate share of the cost of the cooperative school district program in its long-term facility maintenance revenue application. The proportionate share of the cost of the cooperative school district's long-term facility maintenance program for each member school district to be included in its application shall be determined by multiplying the total cost of the cooperative school district long-term facility maintenance program times a 3-year weighted average adjusted pupil units formula. The long-term facility maintenance cost shall be funded through an annual levy instead of issuing bonds. The inclusion of this proportionate share in the district's long-term facility maintenance revenue application for fiscal year 2022 is hereby approved, subject to approval by the Commissioner of Education. Upon receipt of the proportionate share of long-term facility maintenance revenue attributable to the cooperative school district program, the district shall promptly pay the cooperative school district the applicable aid or levy proceeds.
Candy, second.
Resolution read by Jeff Hagley, seconded by Candy Carta. All those in favor by roll call. Candy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
And Jennifer? Aye. Resolution passes 6-0. And now we go on to our Monticello Nature Education video.
Yeah, I'd like to invite Liz Barnes, Sarah Hagan, Teresa Hill, Amanda Hanson, and Curriculum and Instruction Director Cindy Fausching up. And before we play this video, I'd just like to not only introduce these wonderful people, but as a school board and as superintendent, These are the people who, when an idea came this summer to help our families have another option for school, we thought of the nature-based program. Nature-based program is not developed by the superintendent, not by the school board. It's developed by amazing teachers, and the things that they've done with those students and families, 2 years for preschool, and then we'll have this whole year for preschool through grade 5 has been nothing short of miraculous, amazing, and wonderful. We got to see a video a couple weeks ago here, and we're going to see another one right now. But I just want you to know how proud we are of you and how proud our whole community is of what all of you are doing in leading. Thank you.
So my name is Sarah Hagan, and I am the full-time preschool teacher. Our half-time preschool teacher put together that wonderful video. We've been out there for 2 years, and we welcomed everybody out this year, which was fantastic to have more kiddos going through the program. That one was showing you how we get all of our academics into our day, but the thing that I love the most about nature education, and I've taught many years in a brick and mortar traditional classroom as well, is the freedom of choice, the freedom of movement, the hands-on active learning that you can see in those videos is just right for our age group and for kiddos in all age groups. I absolutely love being out there, and I can see the joy in the kiddos' faces every day. So it's a real benefit to the kiddos and to the teachers as well. So now we're gonna have
I'm Amanda Danik, and I teach kindergarten. I started the school year as Amanda Hanson, but I'm slowly starting to switch everything over and getting all my paperwork in, so I'll introduce myself as both. But so these are my slides, and these are some of the things that we have studied and learned about this year: squirrels, seeds, bats, aquatic invertebrates. I have a para, Miss Jenny, and she is a naturalist, and so she has brought all of these ideas to us. Next slide, please. And getting more of the traditional things in, we have the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We had a lesson that Eastview did, and I brought it outside. And ice, letters, and art. And so everything that you would see in a normal building, we have here as well. Next slide, please. And here is a little bit more of our paper pencil, because as much as we love writing letters in the snow and the sand, they also have to be able to write them on paper to go to the next grade and be able to do that as well. So we have our lap desks here, and we do our math workbooks and our handwriting. And here, was just taken this week, the bottom left one. We're doing our assessments for report cards, and they are full of mud and full of sand. But it's really nice to be able to do a small group and also have them be able to explore. But it also takes a little more time, because you also have to make sure that you're watching them as they're exploring. And we did math earlier this week as well, and that is them doing addition and showing the rocks for each number that we're adding. One of the things that I think is a positive and something that I'm working with too is just the amount of things that are outside and being able to keep their attention, but also honoring them and letting them explore that. And there's sticks and rocks and snow on the ground. And so their focus always isn't on me, but I know they're listening. And I was doing a staff meeting that was over the Google Meet, and I was just kind of sitting there, and as Mr. Deckendorf was talking, I found myself picking up the rocks and putting them in my hand, and I wasn't looking at the camera, but I was still listening, and it was just kind of an aha moment because I'm like, oh, this is exactly what they're doing. But I was still listening to him, so that's just something to transitions and the distractions outside. It's definitely something that we have to work through, but you know, being outside is so awesome. Oh, more things that we're doing, but utilizing the inside space.
All right, so I am Liz Barnes. I teach third grade out at the church site. We have first, second, and third grade out there. I just pulled a ton of pictures off our Twitter accounts, so we'll fly through them, just kind of give you an idea. We've done a ton of cool things this year. This caught me right at the beginning of the year. The one in the Little Mountain shirt is my son who's out there, which is super fun to have him with me. Mm-hmm. But he made a best bud from Pinewood. So just seeing the two schools really come together has been really, really fun. And you can just kind of fly through these, whoever's in charge. We participated in the Apex Fun Run, the Little Mountain fundraiser this year. We were able to have them come out and join us. We've had tons of guest speakers come out. We've had people come and read to us. Johnny Appleseed made an appearance, so that was fun. Mr. Hanson came out and did a huge lesson on corn, because we have a cornfield in our backyard. Little did we know he was a corn farmer, so that was cool. Miss Maria comes out weekly to do lessons. Here was just a typical fall day. My third graders were making arrays with rocks. We did a whole bunch of lessons on apples and apple seeds and whatnot. There we were investigating. There were some feathers kind of by our lunch area. What do you think happened? We wrote about that. Frog was found. That was exciting. Leaf experiments and activities. It's just some of our outdoor learning spaces. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner, those were my kids. We went out into the long, tall grass. They have lap desks too. They were working out there. Up top is some of the second graders all spread out with their desks. And then we've used scavenger hunts and the trees and whatnot. A lot of collaboration too. If you notice up in the top, it's a first, second, and third grader. So we've been doing a lot of collaboration with all grades. Just more cute pictures of them working out in the grass. Paper pencil, like Amanda said. Here we had a reptile show come out. That was really cool. We've had the fire department out. We've visited Bertram multiple times for different activities. Mr. Hackett came out, and they're still playing these games that he taught them. So we have a nice little playground area for our kids to play too. Reader's Theater, excuse me. There's a couple turkeys that live near us, so we see them quite often. So that was a cute picture. They were having math class, but they stopped to watch the turkey. We had some deer cameras out too, and we watched the deer that came through and talked about that. That was fun. Again, just how we're utilizing the space. This is my favorite activity. In the fall, we did a habitat, and they all made these really cool habitats, and then we did it again in the winter, and then the third graders did a research project on it, so that was fun. Sundials, we created number lines, practiced cursive out in the snow. Third graders, or first graders at the bottom, are looking at snowflakes. Just kind of embracing whatever the day and the weather's like, and we try to plan around that and come up with activities that we can do. We snowshoed and skied. That was fun. And dog sledding came out that we did over at Bertram with all of us. So that was really cool. The first time I think we had pre-K through 5 all together. So that was fun. And yeah, there they are, the whole group. Doesn't look like much when you look at it like that, but I mean, it's a good chunk of kids. And then there's my class. They're just cute. That was first day of school. And then just recently, lots of creative outdoor play. They're building the house over there, but it was really cool. I didn't know what was going on, and all of a sudden I realized they were taking chunks of snow and they were grading them on the picnic tables to make the shapes that they wanted to create their forts. It was really cool. And we've had local church members come out, and we did one on presentation on birds, presentation on rocks and minerals. So we've been trying to utilize members of the community as much as possible. And box sledding was a hit in the fall. That was really fun. And then here we were just making, I think, syrup candy. We were talking about how we can make candy from the snow. Mr. Hackett's guide dog has come out to do some practice. We've been Skyping with a scientist about once a month. That's been a really cool program that I stumbled upon. So we've learned about reptiles, and we've learned about, I don't remember what the other one was, but that's a cool program. So utilizing the inside space too. And here's just when it's too cold, too windy out there at the church site, we're able to be inside using technology at times. And it's our inside classroom. And that's it for me, but I'll let Teresa go.
I'm Teresa Hill, a fourth grade teacher at the YMCA site out at Bertram Park. So fourth and fifth grade are there. I just wanted to start showing our picnic lunches. Every day the kids will come in with the breakfast and they'll enjoy it outside. Even on the coldest days when we've been out at the YMCA, they've enjoyed, I would say for the most part, picnicking out there, and as well through the snowy and the cold days as well with their lunch. There's a pretty strong group of fifth graders that are challenging themselves to have every lunch outside as much as possible. So they do a great job with that. Next slide, please. I got this really awesome t-shirt from one of my students, probably the first month of school, that said, "Not all classrooms have four walls." So that was just a beautiful way to see that the family had embraced the program and everything that we were doing. And so these pictures just highlight a few of the different learning sites. On the top left, we have an amphitheater that's over at the YMCA that we use both grades quite frequently. And the students there in fifth grade, and you can see they have their yoga mat. So on the snowy days, they were able to cover the benches with their yoga mat to keep themselves dry and just to have a barrier between them and the snow. Some students working in the snow with their clipboards and papers and pencils, as well as during the fall. And then the bottom left, my classes were down by the lake and doing some learning down there. And it's just great, the portability that we have to do reading maybe down by the lake, and then to get up and move, get some of those wiggles out, and then go to the amphitheater to do math, or back to the building and use our projector and screen to teach lessons as we need. In the middle on the bottom, that's one of our covered picnic shelters. So the students have picnic tables, so a place to sit and a table, a hard surface to do some more work there, which is just another great change and variety. And then the fifth graders on the bottom right are also down by the lake having a lesson there too. Something that Ms. Tyndall, the fifth grade teacher, and I have really enjoyed doing as far as curriculum is supplementing the reading skills that we would learn through the regular curriculum that Little Mountain and Pine would use by using some novels and teaching other reading skills by incorporating it through the novel. And then what's been wonderful too is just enriching those novels with other outdoor and nature-based themes. So the fifth graders, they were able to build rafts and do some STEM learning and test their ability to float after reading the book Hatchet. And then just finding those materials out in nature and being able to use the lake to test out the rafts. My class, we had read Owls in the Family, and we were able to have Shannon Polenick, a special ed teacher from Pinewood. She came out and taught more about owls to both of our classes. And then we were able to do some owl pellet dissections too. And then in addition with the dog sledding, I had just read another book, Stone Fox. So just having an expert come out with some dog sledding to come and share that with us. And then just one last really fun experience that we were able to do. Brad Harrington, the Director of Parks and Recreation through Wright County, had shared this wonderful resource, Trout in the Classroom, and they offer programs through community ed as well. But they were able to come out and teach their kids about ice fishing, and they got to work with them for about an hour, both fourth and fifth grade. What's been great about that with the skiing and snowshoeing as well, just introducing kids to these outdoor activities that they maybe would have not had any experience with. For myself, growing up in Minnesota, I never snowshoed or cross-country skied or had gone ice fishing when I was in elementary school. So it's really neat to be able to share that with them at this age. And then our last slide here, we just had some areas of growth that we are looking as we project to grow the program, some things and concerns or needs that we wanted to share. Just as far as resources, any reading specialists or Title I interventions, having some of those face-to-face and physical teachers out with our students, being able to work with them. Also specialists, gym teachers, music teachers, art teachers, having them be able to work with us in special ed and speech teachers as well.
Yeah, well, we just talked a little bit too, just, we're all kind of spread out, we just, you know, a home base for everybody would be beneficial, and, I mean, there's talk, it's in the works, but just even like taking our stuff down and putting stuff away every night, we're resetting up our classroom every day, and it takes a lot of time, and we don't, like, littler kids have a lot of manipulatives and just storage and space, so that's kind of been a struggle and something that we've made work, but definitely something that's welcome to the program in the future.
And along with that part as well, we all work with different building administrations. So 4th and 5th grade, we've been working with Clay Norman, and then like Little Melvin over at the church, they're working with Mr. Hack, and if we just have different administrators, it would be nice to streamline and have one person that we can go to, and even for families too, they get different information from the different schools. Just to have everything.
And different fundraisers, different dress-up days for each school, and so just kind of molding those together and having, you know, those same ones would be nice. And eventually having people on site, so if there's a nosebleed or a crash, you don't have to, you know, call Lacey, the nurse, and then she gets in her car and she drives over to the site. And same with any behavior issues. If someone's having a behavior issue, you make a phone call, you know, they drive out there, but it will be nice to have everybody on site and being able to support that way. And I think our last point was just, you know, equity for all, kind of looking at the future of it and growing it, and just making sure that money isn't something that stops a family from even just putting their name in the lottery, looking at the gear or looking at some of those things and thinking, you know, I can't afford that, and letting that be a stop and looking at that. But I think that's
one of the thoughts for the equity part this year was having something like a gear library where families can go in and check out what they need, including it for a season. And I know that there's plenty of nature schools that do it that way, so that the gear can be lessened, the cost out of pocket for families will be lessened. So we would do this for donations or hand-me-downs from families that have already gone through the program. Some sort of avenues like that, maybe some grant funding or something like that, that could bring those into the program so that families can do the program.
Yeah, definitely they wear it through, I mean, we've gone through, I think, 3 personal camps this winter, they're fully, and, you know, which is good, they're out there, they're playing.
Yeah.
And I think too, we're also thinking about just who can be in the program. We've talked about, should they be grandfathered in, which as a teacher, that's awesome. I know my kids, they know everything that's going on. But as a parent who didn't get in, and do I feel as though it is equitable because my child's never going to get the opportunity, depending on who grows. So just some things to think about.
And with the equity position too, being that pre-K is a program, so that's an added cost onto that. As a year and all of that, if a family's not able to cover that themselves, then if the grandfathering is worked in, that cuts their possibility of coming into the community. So thinking of it that for that.
Any questions?
Could you elaborate on the gear and what they need and how expensive that might be?
It really varies, and there's lots of different like gear, and I have some families that get all their gear from Norway, and it's so awesome.
The country?
The country, yeah, yep. And it's super good gear, but it costs a little bit more, and so it varies. It just depends on what they want. And what I have some students that come in just a normal, what you would see for recess, you know, boots, the normal snow pants, but then you can get the fog boots, which are waterproof, or like the waterproof snow pants and wind pants and waterproof gloves and gaiters and multiple pairs of gloves. In the spring, we've been going through 3-4 pairs a day. And so if you're looking at, the extra cost, if you're sending your student or your child to recess, they have one hat, one pair of gloves, one boots, but a lot of these families have multiple of everything and the different.
And the actual sturdiness of they're using it every day for 6 hours a day. I've got plenty of kiddos that come in kind of the middle ground, regular recess kind of snow pants, and by this time they've got them prepared. They're still holding together, but the waterproof part of it is a big aspect, because if they're cold and they're wet, they aren't going to be for the rest of the day. We do provide rain gear for the kiddos, and for the smaller kids, it's an excellent one-piece rain suit, but those are have to be kind of probably every 3 to 4 years, some of those are going to lose their waterproofing. So that would be a cost that would be into the program. I'm not sure exactly how your guys' holds up, but I know that some of our people from last year, some of them have started to show a little bit of leaking. And really good boots are a must do with full feet. So it does add up in the grand scheme of things, but that would be why having families that have paid for that good gear, if they feel inclined to donate it to the program, if they all close it, and they don't have any siblings.
Thank you.
I think along with an amazing presentation, I'd like to just make mention to the school board that this week, we have our nature-based teachers and program highlighting that. And then in April, we're going to highlight our elementary distance learning. And one of the things about our district is our director of teaching and learning, Cindy Foshing, she does work with these teachers, these new groups. She's used to working with groups from the high school, middle school, and elementaries on curriculum. But all of a sudden, in the cards prior to the summer, we didn't have, distance learning back a year ago, or we didn't have, prior to the pandemic, and we didn't have a nature-based site, which is really times 3. And she listens to the teachers, and she brings forward problem solving, and she gets curriculum, and she is a go-to for these people to be able to perform their craft the way they do. It's because of her umbrella of leadership and wanting to take care of them. Like her little, they're her little babies.
She's a fantastic person, very easy to work with, and always seems to have an answer for the
So hopefully you guys also remember how I started this presentation about you guys, though this does not happen without your leadership. Tonight is a day to celebrate you guys. I'll be smiling all the way home thinking about everything you said and those pictures and videos. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I've heard some really great things from the families on the nature program this year at all 3 sites. Moving on, we're to our first reading of policies with Mr. Olson.
All right, this is our first reading of policy. Tonight we are bringing forth the following policies. Policy 410, family and medical leave, and policy 418, drug-free workplace in the school. The policy committee has had an opportunity to work through these policies with MSBA recommended changes. All board members have had the opportunity to review the policies in the board packet for the last couple of weeks. And right now, these 2 policies were spearheaded by our HR director, so she's also online. But are there any questions at this time regarding these 2 policies? All right, if there are no questions, that's great. We'll be moving these policies to second reading. Thank you to the policy committee for your work on this. If members haven't had a chance to look at any policies in depth, please do so and reach out with any questions prior to the next board meeting. As a reminder, thank you to Dr. Wilson. These were her policies that she kind of led through. So any questions can go to her.
Thank you, Mr. Olson. Now I'll seek a motion to adjourn for the night.
So moved. This is Melissa.
Candy, second.
Motion to adjourn by Melissa Curtis, seconded by Candy Carta. All those in favor by roll call. Candy?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Jamie?
Aye.
And Jennifer? Aye. Motion passes 6-0. We can adjourn at 7 o'clock and we'll take a 5-minute break and then start the work session on a separate link, correct?
Correct.